Today we are starting with a paper bag, and this is one of those regular ones that you can buy at Dollar Tree. I bought a whole bunch for $1.25. You can also use the brown ones, but I think the white ones work best. I'm also going to use 3 markers, blue, red, and black, and we're going to start by making lines. This is just going to be horizontal lines all the way from the top to the bottom, and I am doing about 1/2 inch. I'm using my cutting mat, measuring lines to kind of keep me on track, and of course my ruler as well. Because I want this to look like a paper, I am just going to use the vertical line with the red marker and my ruler. Cute, huh? I'm going to do a A+ with a circle on it at the top. And then with the black marker, I'm just going to write to Mrs. Jones. Of course, you can customize it to whatever teacher this is for. I'm going to open it up, and this is where you can add whatever you want. Treats, pencils, a little gift, an apple, whatever you want. I'm going to fold just about 1/2 inch at the top and poke a couple of holes. Now, my second hole was not good at all. I did it too close to the edge, but it worked out. I'm going to thread some of this curling ribbon right through it and just make a very simple bow and then curl the ends with the scissors. That's it. You can also leave it like this, staple it, or add a different bow. Up to you. I think this is adorable. Such an easy craft and very inexpensive. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with these 2 super mega large popsicle sticks, and I'm going to mark 1.5 inch from one end, and then on the other end we're going to mark 2 1-inch pieces, and we're going to do the same thing on the other one. Then using my ruler, I'm just going to make a line. This is going to make it easier for when I am painting. Really easy. All right, so then we are making some pencils here, and this is going to be mega large pencils. So I want to angle cut the one end to make it look like the pointy side of the pencil. I am using some old scissors. That's why it's cutting, but I'm not concerned because if you use new ones, it probably will ruin your scissors. I'm going to paint the middle in this beautiful yellow by Waverly chalk paint. Again, just to mimic pencil. You can also make this to look like crayons or coloring pencils or even markers, whatever you want. But I'm going to choose pencil. So, of course, I'm going to paint the body of it in the yellow. And I'm using the lines to kind of keep me on track. For the eraser, we're just going to use this beautiful pink, also by Waverly chalk paint. I want to say this is ballerina or like ballet ballerina, something like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, I'm not going to do the silver part yet because the paint is still wet. So we're going to move on to the end, and we're just going to do the little black lead. And I'm just going to use the black marker. You can also use paint if you want, but I think marker works really well. All right, so now we're going to move on to the silver portion. Here's where things got a little hairy for me, just because this silver marker, although it's beautiful, it just was running out of ink. So I'm going to try several of my gray markers to see which one will look best. This is a great idea before you start coloring or painting. Just make sure you kind of test them and see which one you like. I like this one the best because it had a metallic finish, so I'm just going to fill the rest of this one in and then do the other one as well. All right, so now we're going to move on to writing number 2. You know, most pencils are number 2. So I'm just going to do the N-O, a little dot, and then number 2, and do the same thing on the other one. And I'm using a very thin point permanent marker. Now I'm just going to write my kiddos' names right there in the center. I'm just going to use a regular font with all caps. This is just optional. You can do cursive if you want. I think this would be great to put on a kid's desk or to kind of like just label different baskets, homework basket. We're going to use these for our homeschool. Love these. Such a creative way. You can make as many as you want, but what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to use regular size popsicle sticks, and we're going to use 2 sets of 4 and then 2 extra popsicle sticks to attach them together. I'm going to place them right next to each other and then mark where I need to cut because these smaller ones is what we're going to use to just attach them together. And I'm doing the same thing on the other one because, of course, we want to have 2 sets. Or you can make, again, as many as you want. I'm using my wire cutters to cut. You can also use your old scissors if you want. Once I have all 4 popsicle sticks nice and even and straight, I'm going to place a little strip of hot glue and then the tiny piece of popsicle stick right there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other one and attach them together. We're creating an apple craft, and I think you're going to love this one. All right, so now we're going to put those to the side and we're going to start working with construction paper. I'm going to use my masking tape as a measuring, and I'm going to trace 2 circles, and then we're going to start cutting out. I'm going to make a green apple and a red apple, but of course you can choose both red or both green. It does not matter. Once I cut that, I did 2 additional ones because I realized that 1 was not going to be enough. So I'm just going to cut these, and then we're going to start making some wiggly lines. We're just going to start making what will look like little like N's or U's, backward U's. Just do that all the way across, just a little over half point. And then just start cutting them. We want it to look like little teeth marks, and you're going to see why, because this is going to look like apples that I have been bitten. So we're going to do the same thing on the red ones and then again on the green ones. All right, so we're going to put everything together. We're going to take the red one first, and we're just going to hot glue it at the top. It's going to look like a little umbrella, but not for long. And then the other one facing upwards. And we're going to do the same thing with the green. Just place one at the top and one at the bottom. You can also use any regular glue you want. Just let it harden, and it'll be fine. Using black marker, I'm just going to make what will look like seeds. So just do 3, 4, whatever you want. I thought 3 was kind of like a good number. And I'm just going to fill them in. And again, any regular marker is fine. I'm going to take this leftover floral pick. You know what I'm talking about. These are the ones that are left over after you've used the florals. I'm going to cut 2 2-inch pieces and then kind of curve them a little bit. And then we're going to hot glue into the top. This will look like the stem. You can also use any regular stick from outside as well, or black construction paper. I'm going to cut out these leaves. These are also leftover from floral picks. And I'm going to cut them a little smaller, but still with the shape of a leaf. And we're going to hot glue them right next to each stem with a little bit of hot glue. But again, use whatever glue you have. Even glue stick might work. All right, so moving along, I want these to be able to hang. So I am going to just make a little hanging loop with this white jute string. Loop it, tie it in a knot, cut off the excess. And then we're going to hot glue it to the back right there in between the leaf and the stem. A little hot glue goes a long way. I'm also going to use masking tape. This is going to serve in 2 ways. It's going to hold things together, but also cover things up, make it look pretty and kind of cleaned up. But that's it. What a cute craft. Oh my word. This was so easy. I think kids will love this craft, and you can make as many as you want. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.